Hello, today is Friday, June 30th, 2023, and I'm doing this video in my apartment in Port Huron, Michigan, and my name is Joanne Marie Rumford. And I'm doing this video to say that I've still been reading the book titled Putin's World, A Russia Against the West and With the Rest by Angela Stent. And I've reached chapter 11, and I don't know if I'm focused here. I've reached chapter 11, the Gorbachev thaw, and this is the chapter here I've reached so far. And it's got, or not the chapter, but the subtitle is Gorbachev Thaw. The chapter is chapter 11, 3 Failed Resets, Russia and America Before the Trump Era. And I've reached, and that's page 293, and I've reached page 299. I just finished the subtitle, The Gorbachev Thaw. And during the fall of the Berlin Wall, my dad was still living. He served in World War II during the whole entire World War II. In the U.S. Army, and my mom was over in London, England the whole time during World War II, where she moved to at 19 years of age from her home in childhood home in Dublin, Ireland. So she was there in England during the whole World War II. So I moved back with my parents, moved back in with my parents, but they lived in Canada, and I guess they were expats, because my dad was a citizen here in the United States, and my mom wasn't a citizen, but they became a citizen of Canada. Dad is a returning citizen, and my mom a citizen in Canada. So they moved into their cottage on Lake Huron at White Cliffs Cottage, Ipperwash Beach, in 1975, when my dad retired from Chrysler, so from Detroit, where we lived, and I grew up till I was about 19 years old and moved out. So to make a long story short, they retired there to their cottage and winterized it in 1975. So in 1994, I moved back in with my parents, and I lived there till 1994, the fall, around Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, 1994. So I moved in with them in 1984. I moved in with them at the cottage. So I experienced watching on TV, actually, what was going on with the fall of the Berlin Wall. So I was keeping abreast of what was happening with the Soviet Union back then. So anyways, while living with my parents. So anyways, in this chapter here, it says that in November 1985, on the shores of Lake Geneva, that President Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev met, and over the discussion over the United States Strategic Defense Initiative. And then in 1986, they met again at Reykjavik, and then the next page on 300, it says that in 1987, both sides agreed to abolish their intermediate-range nuclear weapons to sign the INF Treaty in Washington. That was in Washington, D.C. And I remember seeing Gorbachev get out of his limousine on TV and shake hands on the TV set in my parents' cottage at White Cliffs, shake hands with admiring onlookers on Connecticut Avenue, and that was 1987. And then in let's see, I don't know what that word is, aminus mirabilis. It says, nevertheless, U.S.-Soviet relations continued to improve under President George H.W. Bush, despite the continuing skepticism of Gorbachev among some of Bush's top advisors during the annus mirabilis of 1989, when Gorbachev let Eastern Europe go. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, Bush was determined to persuade the Soviet counterpart that the United States would not take advantage of the USSR's changed international position. They met in December 1989 on the Maxim Gorky off the coast of Malta. Let's see. And it says at the very end here of the subtitle, Gorbachev, the Gorbachev Thaw, on page 300, it says that Bush and his advisors did not want the USSR to collapse because they feared what might succeed it and were concerned about the disposition of its large nuclear arsenal. But in the end, the USSR died from self-inflicted wounds, and the United States was a mere bystander. So that's how far I've reached. I've got about, I guess, 100 pages left to the book to read, because the last page is 362 of reading material before the acknowledgments and photo credits and what else? Bibliography. I can't pronounce the word very well. The notes. And index. So there's 362 pages, and there is how many chapters here? I put this bookmark here. There are 13 chapters. So I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now I'm on 11. And I took notes, post-it notes that I put in, that I wrote out right there. You can see post-it notes. Actually, more there. Starting here with 1. Let's see, 1 here, and then it goes to on this side here to 27, and then more notes here. Oh, well, actually it goes to here, 34, and then more notes here, goes to 46. So I'm still taking notes because I haven't finished the book. So anyways, I thought I'd mention this because this past weekend, Russia, there may have been a coup between the Wagner Group and the Russian MOD. President Vladimir Putin. And it reminded me of what was going on here in the United States on January 6, 2021, with the U.S. Capitol, and the attack with the insurgents on U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. So anyways, I thought I'd bring you up to date on where I am with this book. So pretty soon I'll be finishing it, maybe during the 4th of July weekend here, because 4th of July is on Tuesday. So I've got, today's Friday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I could probably finish this book by then. Okay, so anyways, have a happy 4th of July, and take care. Bye.